Welcome to Hot Drama TV.
In early December 2025, it wasn't a red carpet interview or a carefully staged press conference that pushed Liu Yuning back to the top of the trending charts. It was a normal live stream. No dramatic lighting. No scripted monologue. Just a familiar face on a screen talking the way he always does, casual, direct, almost too honest for an industry that prefers everything polished. And then in the middle of that ordinary, he said something that felt like a door cracking open. I was recording an OST, and after watching a new drama trailer, I suddenly wanted to go back to acting. That was it. One sentence. No grand announcement. No official comeback statement. Yet within hours the internet treated it like a signal flare. Because for drama fans that line wasn't just a mood. It sounded like a promise. The clip spread fast. Shared, reposted, cut into short edits, paired with emotional music, and captioned with the same message again and again. He's coming back. Some online posts even claimed the related topics view count exploded in a single day, and the comment sections turned into one giant countdown clock. Whether the numbers were inflated or not, the reaction was unmistakable. Drama fans weren't just excited, they were starving. And maybe that makes sense. Because Liu Yuning has always been a strange kind of two-in-one in the public imagination. A singer who sings like he's acting, and an actor who acts like he's singing. Full of control, rhythm, and emotion that lands like a hook in your chest. That's why one honest confession, said almost like a sigh, could feel louder than a formal press release. According to the story circulating online, the spark happened during an OST recording session. Someone, possibly a producer, played a promotional trailer for a new project. Just a few scenes, a few flashes of costumes, eyes and close-up footsteps on stone floors, the kind of montage that's designed to tease an audience. But for him it did something else, it triggered memory. You could almost see it in the way fans described his expression, like someone had woken up an old part of him. And once the memory door opened, the names poured out. He thought of How Do in the long ballad, that cold, sharp stillness hiding tenderness like a blade kept in its sheath. He thought of Mingxi in the legend of Anle, restraint so tight it felt like pain. He thought of Jiang Junhao in Be Your Own Light, warm, vivid, alive in a modern world, the kind of character who doesn't need a sword to fight, just a conscience and a heartbeat. When he described that feeling, he didn't make it sound like ambition. He made it sound like recognition. Like meeting an old friend in a crowded city. Like hearing your own name in a place you didn't expect. Like remembering that a part of you used to breathe differently. And then came the detail that really made drama fans spiral. He mentioned period drama action scenes, the thrill of them, the rush, the physical satisfaction of it. People replayed that moment because his eyes, they said, changed. A small flash. A spark that looked less like nostalgia and more like hunger. But the same live stream that lit the fire also poured water on it. Reality, as always, was waiting right there. He laughed, half helpless, half amused, and reminded everyone that his year-end schedule was stacked. New Year's events, variety recordings, music work, already packed all the way to Spring Festival. The singer identity, he joked, still had to clock in a little longer. That's where the story got even more interesting. Because if he had said, "Yes, I'm returning now," it would have sounded like marketing. But the fact that he said, "I want to but I can't yet," made it feel real. Fans know the difference. The internet knows the difference. Desire blocked by timing is one of the most believable plotlines there is. Especially for someone whose career has always looked like a long climb, rather than a smooth elevator ride. And once the clip went viral, the fandom did what fandoms do best. They excavated. Overnight, role archaeology took over. Old scenes resurfaced like they had been waiting in the ground for the right season. Bai Choufei from Heroes returned to the timeline, loyal, intense, the kind of character who breaks your heart, because you can see the disaster coming and still can't stop loving him. Zhuo Bufan from Tianxing Jian reappeared too. Complicated, layered, not easily reduced to good or bad. People started repeating the same phrase. He has a drama face. In Chinese fan culture, that's not just a compliment. It means you don't see the actor, you see the character. It means he can step into one world and disappear, then step into another and vanish again, leaving behind a different shadow each time. For an actor who began his rise through music, that kind of shape-shifting earns a particular kind of respect. And then fans went deeper. They rewatched his modern drama scenes, especially the ones opposite veteran actress Liu Tao, and suddenly the conversation shifted from, "I miss him acting," to, "Wait, he's actually improved a lot." People talked about his eyes. Not the beauty of them but the control of them. The way emotion arrived late, or too early, or flickered behind restraint. The way silence did half the work. Online edits compared his onstage explosiveness as a singer with the quieter, more precise emotional movements he used as an actor. The most dramatic comment, repeated in countless variations, was basically this: "He's an award-level seat delayed by singing." It's an exaggeration, sure. The internet always exaggerates. But exaggeration is also a kind of truth-telling. It reveals what people want to believe. And what they wanted in that moment was clear. They wanted him back on a set. Then the story stepped outside the fan circle and tried to put on a suit. Because the next phase of the narrative, again according to online posts, was industry feedback. A producer allegedly reposted the topic and hinted that a major costume male lead project was in contact. A director supposedly described him as a rare type. Someone who carries traffic and can act. A combination the market is always chasing. Even a screenwriter connected to the long ballad was said to have teased that How Do's story might still have a future. Are these details fully verifiable? Not necessarily. Entertainment internet writing often blends real signals with hopeful interpretation. But what matters is why those claims were included at all. Because once a story reaches the industry is calling stage, it stops being only fan fantasy. It becomes a narrative of demand. It tells the general audience, this isn't just people begging online. This is a market movement. And then, right when the hype needed a final push, something that felt official without being a full statement, the studio posted what looked like a quiet clue rehearsal footage. In the background, he's practicing. In the gaps between dance moves, he's watching classic movie scenes on his phone like a student stealing time. And the internet fixated on one small image. His phone wallpaper, reportedly a still of Marlon Brando from The Godfather. One image. One caption. Always preparing. That's the kind of line that doesn't confirm anything, but it doesn't deny anything either. It's perfect. It gives fans something to hold without giving them a deadline the studio can be blamed for missing. And that is exactly how modern celebrity narratives are built. Not with announcements but with breadcrumbs. Not with full truth but with strategic ambiguity. Just enough to keep the audience leaning forward. Still, the reason this story hits so hard isn't only because people like Liu Yuning. It's because the story carries a bigger emotion. The hunger for craft. In an era where some stars can stay visible without ever returning to a set, the idea of someone saying, "I want to go back and act," feels almost rebellious. Drama fans framed it like a victory. Not just for him, but for the idea of an alive actor. Someone who wants to work, not just exist as a brand. Industry watchers, meanwhile, read it as something else. Proof that his career path keeps breaking the usual hierarchy. He didn't start as a traditionally trained actor. He didn't debut from the most powerful machine. His rise is full of detours. Music, live streams, OSTs, variety, acting. And yet here he is standing in a place where one sentence can cause an entire audience to reopen old dramas and reevaluate his growth. That kind of trajectory challenges the snobbery that still exists in entertainment. The idea that only one correct path leads to legitimacy. And that might be the most meaningful part of this whole moment. Because at the center of the hype, the edits, the comments, the rumors, the numbers, the alleged contacts, and the studio hints, there is still a simple human thing. A person watched a trailer and felt his heart pull toward a craft he missed. No matter how loud the internet gets, that quiet pull is what people recognized. So now the question isn't, will he return? It's how he will return. Will he jump into a high-stakes costume male lead project, the kind that can either crown you or crush you? Will he choose a role that forces him to unlearn the safety of familiarity and grow again? Will he surprise everyone with something small and sharp instead of something grand and popular? We don't know. And that uncertainty is exactly why the story works. Because a comeback isn't exciting when it's guaranteed. A comeback is exciting when it's possible, and you can almost hear it approaching. For now, the singer is still clocking in. The schedule is still packed. The stage lights are still on. But somewhere between an OST recording session and a trailer playing on a screen, the actor inside him sat up, opened his eyes, and remembered the feeling of stepping into a character's life. And if that spark is real, if it keeps burning quietly behind the music, then the next time he says, "I'm going back," it won't be a trending topic. It will be a scene. A real one. The kind drama fans have been waiting to watch.